the one thing that did change, though, in terms of drafts of the script is that when I first started writing this, Isaac hadn't really started speaking yet. And,
oh, wow, okay.
And then it was like overnight, it was like, oh my God, like my son and his language and his ability to speak at this age is really amazing. And so I kind of abandoned that draft and then stripped it down and wrote a treatment as opposed to writing all this dialogue. And then the film became, entirely improv based because, there was no way that I would be able to write dialogue for my 2-year-old son that would be as effective as just what was naturally coming out of his mouth.
Gotcha. Well, that actually helps me transition to the next question I have for you. After doing some research, I understand that the film was shot a great deal according to the mood of your son in terms of what you decided to shoot on that day. And typically, when you hear about films being shot, you hear about having to accommodate to your location or how long you're allowed to shoot in that said location, etc. So can you talk a little bit about the challenges you faced as well as the unforeseen advantages that you encountered in shooting in such a way that you did?
Yeah, like this movie was so hard to make because it's really hard to make something seem so easy. Like I've been saying this, recently today, just of like it takes so much effort to make something seem so effortless. I didn't have a traditional crew, and most of these locations were just, it was guerrilla style. We weren't permitted. We didn't have like a big, trailers to go walk back to. We didn't have PAs. So it was like a lot of meticulous planning, a lot of preparation to like let go and to succumb to whatever would happen in the moment, which is a really exhilarating, way to work. But yeah, it was, for instance, the scene that we have in the cemetery was incredibly stressful because, we didn't have permission to be there. I'm there with my son, and I know that I have to, get to a pretty raw state emotionally. And then also in the corner of my eye, I'm looking out as like security coming, which made it really difficult. It's like one of the most emotional scenes for me to have in the film, and I'm like, wait, is that a guy? Okay, no, and then also just being in a cemetery and the energy surrounding being in a place like that, and was a really it was really tough, but also so enriching at the same time.
Gotcha. Well, to add to that, since you did shoot in that way, and according to your son's mood, how much did that affect? And I apologize, I'm kind of going into a little bit of technicality, but how much did that factor into what you hear about